Hi guys. Hello. Hi everybody. It's Meg. I am here live. Finally back for at least a couple minutes. My plan is to be on till about 8 o'clock, 8:30 thereabouts. I don't know. I don't know. I'm willing to go longer if people show up. But we will see how that goes. Um, kind of wanted to have I want to have a talk with you guys about what's been going on, how I've been doing, where things are with my channel right now. I don't know. I don't know what this is gonna look like, but yeah, we'll see how it goes. I do have some card reading available. We can do some of that on the stream if you guys would like. If you guys have any questions, comments, or concerns, please let me know. And also, I will save this video for playback if you guys want to come back to this video and ask away there. But suffice it to say, I need to have a talk with you guys because there's been some things on my mind, and it's time I came back and let you guys know what those things are. So, just a quick disclaimer before we get into it. I reserve the right to moderate my stream as I see fit to. Especially in playback, but on the live chat as well. That's over here. Please consider your comments carefully because I do block and report, okay? But also, this is a safe space for everybody to be in, so any slurs, homophobic comments, just keep the negativity to a minimum. Constructive feedback is okay, but anything that makes me, anything that suggests violence towards me or my community will not be tolerated. Okay, so just keep that in mind. And secondarily, I will list all of the decks I'm using for the reading. We'll get to that in a minute, but all of those will be listed in the description for this live, so check them out. I've also included links to my socials, and I think that's pretty much it for this disclaimer, although I should mention at least two of my decks do depict some nudity. I will do my best to keep that censored as I can. But yeah, so there is that. So yeah, what's been going on with me? Well, to be honest, I've kind of hit a bit of a wall with my videos here. I've tried to work past it before because I've done this enough where I get the sense of my own discomfort where my videos are concerned. I think the word I want more here is discontent. I do know what I want from my videos, but occasionally I feel like I don't get there. The quality is not what I expect from myself, or there's just something bothering me about it, whether that's the thumbnail, the title card, the way I edit, the effort I put into it. I don't want my videos to be I know I can give you quality product and quality within the parameters of my equipment. My ability is this if that makes sense, right? I know I can do good work, and I want to do good work, but I've hit the sense that I'm not delivering on that as well as I could. And you could argue, hey, you're being hard on yourself. Yeah, I'm being hard on myself. I know I'm being hard on myself, but it also at least from my perspective, is coming from a place of wanting to be as helpful and as transparent as possible. I also frankly just got a little busy. And if you'll notice, I haven't been on in a month. That's in part because, again, did want to take a break. Kind of, I wanted to step back and assess how I can make my videos the quality that I know I can make. There's that. But number two, I got busy. Life's been fairly busy lately, and that is due to the fact that I've had some family come in town. They're off school, so they do need a little bit of supervision. That family, I have two nephews. I'm not going any further than that, so don't ask where they are, who they are. Privacy is being kept over here. But they've been out of school, so they've needed some safe places to go on occasion, and that happened to be with me. And they've been an absolute joy to have around. There's that's taken me away, but also I have taken on a couple of freelance editing jobs, which has required me to reassess my ability to meet deadlines. And those jobs have taken priority over making videos. So I'm hoping to be able to find a better balance between all of those things. But that's another thing that's come up for me as well, in that is that I have really had to take a step back and think about the way. Basically, I've had to take a step back and think about my creative output and how much I can actually do without hurting myself. By that, I don't want to burn out. I don't want to burn out. And that is, I can see it start. I'm starting to see it happen with me. And that's not, no, I want to be here. I want to do my work. I want to make my videos and write my blog, and I want to read my books. And I want to share all of that with you, but I need to do it in a way that that serves the best it can. And I don't know if I'm doing that as well as I could right now. So that's been part of the reflection process for me while I've been away. Luckily, the family stuff is slowing down. I did actually start writing my blog for September. I'm very excited to share that with you. I'm very excited to share it with you because it's new content, and I'm using decks that I haven't used in a while, so I get to put my grubby little mitts on those and share the content with you as it rolls out. August is going up throughout the month, so if you want to see that, go ahead and check the links. My Patreon is available there if you want to see my public blog, if you want to see some more information that you can't get anywhere other than Patreon. Go ahead, take a look at what I'm offering. No, you need, so please consider it. If you can't, that's totally fine. And I also am looking forward to taking commissions again. I haven't advertised that just because busy, very busy. So yeah, that's where I've been. I hope all of that makes sense. I have been rambling on for 10 minutes now, almost 10 minutes. Give it 20 seconds. But yeah, I'm excited to be back. That's another thing that I've really fell off on, is planning live streaming events. And I want to treat this opportunity is a way to connect with my community, with you guys, with people that I love, and the fact that I have this community at all is really special. It's my way of connecting with you guys, and I want to make this so that you are engaged and can feel safe in doing so. So that's another thing that I've kind of fallen off on, and I don't want that to be the case anymore. But again, I have to do it within my bounds. So, yeah, all of that to say, I will be back with fresh videos quite soon. Give me a minute to recalibrate my energy, and I will have some new ones for at least. I may start it back up in September. We're just gonna play it by ear. September feels good. At least some the family members I referenced earlier, they're going back to school, so my free time is gonna look a little bit different. So there's that. Okay. Yeah, that's enough of me rambling. I'm a little bit anxious to get into my cards. I'm excited to get to my cards. So why don't we switch gears for a little bit and do some tarot reading? Okay, we haven't done this in a month. I might be a little bit rusty, so hang in there with me. But here we go. Again, I'm going to have to actually do a little bit of editing in the video description for this, but check out the description for this when the live stream goes dark, because that's where all of the deck credits are going to be. Okay. All right. Also, once again, if you have any questions, comments, or concerns, get them in the chat or in the comments. I'm happy to help where I can, but you already know the deal. I will moderate them as I see fit. Okay. All right. All right. So, how is everybody doing? We haven't talked in a month. Let me know if you feel safe to. I've been very lucky that I have not actually melted off from the heat. If you guys are outside of the U.S., it's actually summer in my part of the world right now, and I feel like I'm gonna jinx it by saying this, but normally it would be boiling hot to the point that I'm not safe to go anywhere unless I have a bus fare. And that hasn't been the case. That really hasn't been the case. And it's been wonderful. It's been noticeably warm, but it's also been comfortable, which is weird for this time of the year. Although I have a feeling it's not going to last for too much longer. But no, please stay. This is lovely weather for me. I don't mind this. When I walk out of my door just to get the mail and I'm already melted. That's what I don't like about summers in California. So, and I am in California for your reference. That's as far as that goes. Okay. Yeah. So, let's see what we're going to see. Hello to everybody here. All right. Okay. Making sure that is gone. Okay. So, for anybody watching who is new to the way I do readings, I'm gonna pull some tarot, but I usually like to start with some oracle cards, and that way it gives a suggestion of the whole reading, or the whole energy, I should say. And we're gonna see. We're gonna see what's up. We're just gonna play. We're just gonna have some fun. We're gonna be present. I'm looking forward to being present with you guys in this way again because, again, haven't been here in a month. And, yeah, let's see what we need to see. Let's see what we need to see. Okay. So we're going to start, again, we're starting with some oracles. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to name off the decks that I'm using just to make it easier on myself to go back and give them credit in the description, because I have not input them yet. We're going to start with the Dreamscapes Oracle by Matt Hughes. Where's that deck box? I think I said that correctly. Oh, yeah, it's buried. Anyway, let's see what we need to see. Okay. All right. And the next 3 decks I'm using are all by Maia. We're going to start with the illustrated Bestiary here. Okay. And then we have, and we're going to start with, we're going to pull from the illustrated Crystallary. And then we have the illustrated Herbiary. All of those are by Maia. Okay. Normally I don't do this, but again, I'm trying to make it a little bit easier on myself to go back and change things in the description. Okay. So let's see what we need to see from our oracle. Okay. We're going to start with the Raven. Okay. We're starting with the Raven. Okay. Got the Raven. Okay. We have the Human. And that says, remember forgetting. Okay. We have the Human. Okay. All right. We have the Quaking Aspen, which says, we are one. Okay. The Quaking Aspen. Okay. And we have the Emerald, which says, choose your initiation. Okay. Okay. So there's the Emerald. What I'm struck by, what immediately got me paying attention to this right now is the bird imagery. For some reason, I feel like there are some energies that might be coming in, but I feel compelled to say they're not coming in quickly. This might be very subtle. It might feel a little bit shadowy. Okay. There's some things that are very much, there's some things that are coming in very subtly. I feel like this could be energy, these could be messages, this could be a release of some variety, because with the Human card we have the birds kind of taking off. Okay. They're kind of coming out of this figure's head, and they're taking off. And so there's a release of energy. I think there's a release of energy coming in that certainly is needed. But because this release of energy is happening, there's room. Okay, there's space. There are things happening. And you can sense it happening. Okay, I'm getting here because ravens, corvids in general, from my understanding, are actually very smart for their species. They have yeah, they're very smart for their species. So you sense these happening, right? I feel like you sense these happening. And it's making room, it's making room for new things to come in. You're initiating a new phase. Ooh, okay. You're initiating a new phase. Okay. Something is definitely growing, but I also feel like something precious is waiting for you to discover it. Something precious to you is waiting to be discovered. Okay, I'm getting to that thought because emeralds are a precious gem. Okay, and in fact, what's funny is that this is my birthstone. So, yeah, something precious is, you're being given room to find something precious, something valuable, something you didn't know you needed. Okay. Now the thing with you being given room for this discovery is that this room is suddenly there, right? The space is suddenly there, and you might not have an inkling of what do I do with it, what to do, how do I function in this. You have a support system. You're interconnected with a support system, and it's there. There's your precious. Okay. I want you to notice that the way the artist has chosen to portray this aspen is with hands linked together. I think if I understand this correctly, the cool thing about aspen is that they're clones. There's one tree and many clones. Please correct me if I'm wrong on that. If there's any tree experts, I know one of the channels that I watched on a regular basis has talked about quaking aspens, but their roots are interconnected. Okay. I think what you're waiting to discover is your interconnectivity with yourself, with other people, with the world around you. You have space to reflect on that because you're releasing old energies that don't serve you. Okay. And this is happening subtly. It's not like lightning. You're not being struck by lightning. You're not being hit by a boulder. You're not just waking up in the unknown, right? You are, you're finding this happening very subtly. Okay. And all of this is to discover how interconnected with everything you truly are. Okay. So there's that. That was, I feel like that was a lot already, but we're going to move into our tarot and see what else we might need to see about what the Oracle had to say. I'm interested. I'm not going to lie, I'm very interested. Okay. Okay. Well, we may have this energy confirmed, but let me. Okay, all right. I have not used this deck in a while, so we're going to get into it. I'm currently using the Beautiful Creatures Tarot by J.R. Rivera. Let's see what we need to see. What I'm going to do here, I'm going to pull some main cards, some tarot cards for the main energy, and then we'll look at some hidden and clarifying energy. So let's see what we need to see from our main energy? Okay. Main energy, please. Okay. Okay. And you know what? Just for kicks, let's add in how we can use this. Okay. What do we need to see for hidden clarifying energy and how to use it? Okay. Okay. So, right off the bat, we're getting the transformation. I believe this is the card for death in the major arcana. I will look that up. Let's go with this being death. Okay, so we have the transformation. We have we also have the lovers. Okay, we have the lovers. Okay. And we have the Knight of Swords. Okay. Okay. So yeah, there's a change. There's a really subtle but important change that is happening in your space. Okay. And from what the cards in our oracle have said, that space is leaving you to discover certainly a precious thing to you. I got that it was your interconnectivity with everything around you. Okay, you're being given space to reflect on that and figure out what that means for you. This energy has come on the cusp of a very big, important release. Okay, like I said, we just had our oracle confirmed here. With that release, with that space to be reflective, you're also being given a choice. Okay, you have some pros and cons to weigh out. You have some things that you need to look at. Okay, make decisions on. Okay, again, the beautiful thing is you've been given space for that. Okay, you've been given space, and while it doesn't feel like a blessing, I think there's a blessing in disguise here, because you have the Knight of Swords. Okay, you need to take action. You need to do the reflection. You need to do the work, but you're kind of in two minds about how to do it. Okay, on the one hand, you should, and it will be important. It will probably be challenging, but it will be important. But on the other hand, you don't want to be uncomfortable. You don't want to. You don't want to look at the scary bits. Maybe there's some things that are truly frightening you that are being like, no, I'm not ready for that. Okay, that's okay. Here, that's where your choice comes in. Okay, that's where your choice comes in. Those are the pros and cons that you need to weigh out. Okay, but you are being asked to do the work. You are being asked to make that choice. The question is, what do I do with it? Like, I have all this space. Okay, what do I do with it? The nice part about this reading is we will answer that right at the very end. Stay with me if you want to know more. Let's see what else. What else do we need to see here? So we're going to look at the Tarot of the Divine by Yoshitani. I'm looking. Honestly, I haven't used this deck in a while. I'm so mad because it's a beautiful deck. It really is a beautiful deck, and I don't know why I don't use it more. Bad on me. But let's see what it has to say. Okay, let's see what it has to say. Okay. All right, one more shuffle here. Okay. Okay. All right. So, going to look at temperance. Okay. Got temperance. Okay. There's temperance. We have the Page of Swords. Is that a repeat card? We have Page of Swords. Actually, I think it was the Knight of Swords. I'll go back and look. We have Temperance, Page of Swords, and the King of Coins. Okay. We have the King of Coins. All right. Well, there's a call for balance. Yeah, there's a call for balance here. And, I'm getting that obviously with temperance, because that's the card that is all about the balance, right? What's interesting to me is that there's this balance of really wanting to go for it, just rushing the mark. Okay, you really do want to go for it. Okay, the problem is that you are kind of green behind the ears, if you will pardon the expression. You're in the situation, you're excited, you're raring to go. It's like, yeah, I can do this, I got this. Okay, well, look at where you're going. Okay, look at where you're going. You have a sword in your hand. You have the head in the clouds energy is coming into it. You're not really looking at what you're doing, and you're kind of planning everything, and you want to go forward, but you have the idea. Okay, you know how you want to go about doing this reflecting. Okay, but you're still kind of you're still not really sure how to actualize the plan. Okay, let's go with that. You're not really sure how to actualize the plan. That's where our call to balance is coming in here, because you have so much going on. All right, you have a lot of ideas in your head. You really want them all to work. Okay, things are feeling real turbulent. Okay, and that's going to be a fun little issue to contend with when you're suddenly finding yourself having to go back and correct mistakes. Okay, and they're mistakes that you came by honestly. It's not that you deliberately went into it thinking, I'm going to screw this up and I'm going to do this that messes A, B, and C up over here. You didn't do that deliberately. But you were so enthusiastic about doing the work, and you rushed it. You rushed the mark a little bit. Honestly, that's okay, because we're all human. We're all human. We're capable of so much. Okay? We're capable of doing so much. But sometimes it takes grabbing yourself by the belt loop and pulling yourself back. Because there's some things that you might need in order to keep moving yourself forward. Okay? One thing that may help you, and I'm going to bring temperance back up here because of the way this character is posed. I want you to have a look at that. Okay, that character's foot is dipping their toes into water. Okay, when I saw this card, I immediately got to the King of Cups. Okay, and coupled with the energy of the King of Coins, your mentioned a blessing in disguise a little bit ago. I think this might be it. Okay, I have a strong feeling this might be it, because the blessing in disguise that you're experiencing right now is looking at how you are reacting to this situation, okay, whether you're being very forward and expressive, or whether you're letting your subconscious do the work, okay. You're in a place of understanding your own personal authority right now, okay. This is really special, and it's really important, okay, because remember, I mentioned the King of Cups. You have the King of Coins. King of Coins is someone who is very generous with their resources, very generous with their time, what they have at their disposal. That's what's mine is yours kind of energy, okay. But behind that, okay, they know their worth and they know what they're about, okay. We don't have the King of Cups, and we can't confirm that we're actually going to get the King of Cups. But that energy suggests someone who's emotional without being overwhelmed by it. Okay, so while I do think you are kind of in your head right now, okay, we have swords. We have 2 swords out right now. This has you in your head, okay? This has you thinking a lot, okay? But it may be bringing up things about your self-worth, your self-esteem, your how you feel about yourself, okay? And you're being asked to do this reflection in a way that doesn't have you totally overloaded by your own thoughts. Okay. Let's go with that. That's interesting. If you guys have any comments, questions, or concerns, let me know. Chat is open, and the comments will be available to you after this live is done. So if you have any thoughts you want to share from there, let me know. Also, please make sure you're in a safe place to actually share. Don't force yourself if you're not ready for it. Okay. All right, but let's see. Let's see what else we need to see. Okay, what else do we need to see? What else do we need to see? What else? What else? Show me what else. Okay. Okay. All right. Okay. So we're going to look at the 8 of Pentacles. Okay, we're looking at the 8 of Pentacles. Okay. 8 of Pentacles. We have King of Swords. Okay. We have King of Swords. All right. And we have Strength. Okay. So there's our Strength card. Okay. Well, this is interesting. Because right off the bat, I'm being struck by the fact that we have the King of Swords. And I think we should start there, because from what I said with the other set of cards here, you're in your head. Okay, you're very much in your head, and you're being called to do this work in an analytical versus reactive way. Okay, analyze it, don't react to it. Easier said than done. Okay, much easier said than done. And I can hear someone in the ethers who's watching this back being like, yeah, Meg, you said it. Okay, here's what I want you to realize here. You know what you're thinking. Okay, I'm getting someone very much You know, being someone who's very much in their head. Okay, they don't. You're a thinker. If you're responding to this, you're a thinker. You're very cerebral. You have a lot of thoughts on a regular basis. Not a bad thing. Not a bad thing at all. Okay, you're very smart. You're also observant and you're protective, and you're very much. I think the phrase "anywhere the wind goes" might respond well with you. Okay, and I'm hearing Freddie Mercury singing right now. Also helps. I might have been listening to Queen before this live stream. So there's that. But you know, you might air signs. Okay, if you know your sign, if you know your top 3, if any of those are air signs, this might be resonant with you. Okay, what are the air signs? Aquarius, Gemini. It's not Leo, but I've forgotten the other one. I apologize. But anyway, air signs, this might be for you. But the whole point of me mentioning all of that is that you're in charge of your thoughts. As you know, again, easier said than done. You're in charge of your thoughts. Okay? You're in charge of your thoughts. Now, we have the 8 of Pentacles, but we also have strength here as well. What you need to know here is that, like I said, charge, okay? But this period of reflection and time might require you to put in some work, okay? For some of you, this is the comfort or the boundary of your comfort zone is being tested. Okay, and this is where you are. This is where you're being asked to put in the work. Okay, and again, you're in your head over it. Okay, if you're keeping track of the suits here, we have 3 cards out of the suit of swords. So that's why I'm saying, and if you know the correspondences, suits are associated with air, and therefore they're also associated with mentality, perspective, ideas, and things like that. So yeah, that's how I'm getting to you being in your head. Okay. It will require you to do some work to assess that. Okay. But it also is going to test your strength a little bit. Okay. You are already very strong. Okay. You're very strong. But with all of this going on, there may need to be some calm control coming into this as well. What you need to know here is that you do have the ability to assert. Okay, excuse me. You do have the ability to assert this sense of calm control in this situation. Again, going back to this King of Cups energy. You know who you are, you know what you're about, you know how you're feeling. You don't have to react. You have the ability to analyze what's going on in this situation. Okay. Let's see what else we need to see. Okay, what else do we need to see? Okay, what else do we need to see? Right. Yeah, what else do we need to see? What else do we need to see, please? Okay. What else do we need? Okay. Okay. Ooh. Perfect. We have the 10 of coins. Love that. We have the 10 of coins to start off with, which makes me happy. Makes me very happy here because that suggests abundance. Now I'm getting stumbly. Hang tight a minute here. So yeah, 10 of coins, that suggests abundance, that suggests plenty, and that suggests having what you need to take care of yourself and everybody else. Okay. That also means a grounded practicality in how you're doing that. Okay. Oh, best. Let me bring this one back up. Okay. When you do this work, remember we talked about how your roots are interconnected with everybody else. Let's talk about this 10 of coins by itself for a little bit. We have not seen the other two cards for this. But let's talk about the 10 of coins here. Okay. Because this is rooted in the earth, the 10 coins are associated with the element of earth. Okay. Your roots have taken hold. Okay. Your roots have taken hold. Look at. Guys. I'm glad. I may start crying. Just a heads up, if you're new on this channel, if you're new to my videos, I do get emotional sometimes. This might be it. Just a heads up. But you have the 10 of coins. This is abundance. This is having plenty. This is taking care. This is watering the roots that you put down so it can interweave and connect with others. Okay? Okay? Let's see what the other two cards are. We have the 10 of coins. We have the Empress. We have the Empress. And we have the High Priestess. Okay. All right. So here's the deal. Like I said, with the 10 of coins, this is rooted in your abundance. This is rooted in your ability to take care. Okay. This is also rooted in your ability to be creative, to be profoundly creative. Okay. Some of you may respond to this if you are in a state of, no, hold on. Some of you might be responding to this if you are, if you're an expectant mother, if you're expecting a child on the way. Okay, I'm getting here because oftentimes you will see the Empress portrayed as a pregnant woman. Okay, that could be the case. That could be what's resonating with you. I want to keep it general, so that's why I'm going to go back to you're in a state of profound creative energy, okay? And that's stemming from the fact that you've been given space for that, okay? You're rooted in that. You know that that is going to be what's true, okay? Okay? But more importantly than that, there is this sense of wisdom coming in for you that it has, you're given space for the creativity, but this experience of creative energy is allowing you to gain wisdom, gain knowledge, gain understanding. You can't do that, you can't do that if you're kind of all over the place mentally, right? That's why I feel like we're seeing the King of Swords. That's why I feel like we're seeing, remember the Page of Swords, also the Knight of Swords. There they are, okay? yeah, just a lot of abundant creative energy. And that's beautiful to see. Okay, you've been given space for that. There's some hard work and some diligent effort that you need to put in to do this reflecting process. Okay. But don't forget your sense of authority over yourself, over what you have. And also, don't forget your knowledge of your self-worth, because those things are what's going to make this experience of this time particularly special. Okay. Okay. Let me see something here, because I feel like there's some repetitive suits here. Okay. Oh, wait a sec. I guess wait. There we go. Okay. So, like I said, we're looking at the Suit of Swords. This is all mental. Okay. Yeah, you're resonating with this if if you're a thinker, if you're an air sign, if you're very you have a situation that you're very much in your thoughts over. Okay. What's interesting here is that I think the other message in this is that you need to come out of your head a little bit. You need to let yourself ground. Remember that we are looking to interconnect our roots here. Okay. There will be experiences that let you put down fresh roots here. Okay. And you can't do that if you're stuck in your brain space, right? You're very much in your head, but you're being called to bring your thoughts out of the air and manifest them out here, right? They need to be in your space. They need to be realized in this space. Okay. Hopefully that makes sense. We have quite a bit of the major arcana as well. To my understanding, what that means to get mostly major arcana cards is pay attention. Pay attention, because there's some major shifts happening. And we do have the death card out. So again, that could be very that could be an important factor for you. Okay. Time out. I'm calling for a hydration break because I can feel my throat going out. So let's have some water. Please get up, take care of your business, get some comforting beverages in your system, please. Cheers if that's what you're doing. Okay. Again, if you guys have any questions, comments, or concerns, let me know in chat, in the description. Check the description because all my stuff is down there. But this video is in playback if you want to see this after. Okay. Okay. So let's keep going. Let's see what else we need to see here. We're going to look at the hidden energy of this reading. I did forget to mention that I used the Funerary Arts Tarot. Again, check the description for the full credit. And then the final deck I used for the main energy was the 8 Coins Tattoo Tarot. Okay. So, yeah. Okay. Give me a second here, guys. How's everybody doing? Is everybody okay? We're good? Okay. Okay. So, yeah, for those of you coming into this fresh. I've just done a main tarot reading. The energy suggests that we have space to do some reflecting, and we're being given the blessing in disguise of having this opportunity, having some immense creative energy, but we need to take those ideas out of the air and actualize a plan for how to achieve them. Okay. Also, the theme that came out was putting fresh roots down as well. So there's the main energy. Let's look at what's underneath. What is going on with our hidden energy here? Okay. So hidden energy, we're going to look at the Knight of Wands. Okay. Here's the Knight of Wands. Okay. There's our Knight of Wands. We have the Eight of Wands. Interesting. There's the Eight of Wands. Okay. There's the Eight of Wands. All right. Okay. We have the Seven of Wands. All right. We have the Seven of Wands. And Seven of Wands, and we have the Moon in reverse. Okay. Well, first of all, Bestie, let's address the fact that let's go with the Moon being in reverse, because to me, and this is so weird that we have all fire and the Moon is in reverse. This, to me, if it's in the upright position, things are, maybe they're not as subtle as you might think they are right now. Okay. If you recall, if you've watched it up to this point, thank you. I appreciate you for being this far in with me. But at the very beginning of the Oracle energy, I suggested that things are happening potentially in shadow or in a way that's subtle. Okay. I don't think that's actually the case, especially right now, because we have the Moon in reverse. This to me is suggesting that you're there, right? Your road is clear. Okay. You have the ability to go. Okay. And given that you have all wands, especially one that suggests taking action on what you want to do, you're kind of ready to go. In fact, you're so ready to go that you're willing to just bolt, right? You're willing to let it go. Eight of Wands. You want to go fast. You want to move, right? You don't want to sit still. Like, hey, I've been in that situation. I've had ideas. And remember, we have all swords out in the main energy here. So you have good ideas. You have this abundance of creative energy. Okay. But, and there's a huge but here. Okay. You got to be careful. Be careful. You got to pay attention right now. Really pay attention. Okay. Things especially right now, your way is so clear. You have a light on the road ahead of you. Okay. You're raring to go. Okay. Hold on. Remember the belt loop analogy. Hold on, bestie. Let me yank you back by your belt loops a little bit. You got to pay attention, because something's going to happen if you don't, something's going to happen if you don't let your fire, I want to say let your fire simmer. You got to feed your flame. You have to feed your flame slowly. There it is. Sorry, guys. Feed your flame slowly, okay? There are people who you might be trusting at this time who don't have your back the way you think. Okay, so even if you want to take action, even if you want to keep going and moving forward, okay, there might be a point at which you have to stop, let yourself analyze what's actually going on, okay, because there are going to be people who take you up for just wanting to go forward, for just wanting to plan and be present with your desire to create and be creative, okay? This is where you're going to have your choices to make, okay? Do I just rush it? Do I move forward? Do I not think about this? Do I pause and think about this and go where I can? Obviously, because I'm going to say it again, obviously, you probably should pay attention. There are things in your space that are saying, yes, this is great. You want to do this, and you should do this, okay? You should do this if it's reasonable for your boundaries, okay? But you also have to pay attention too, because not everybody has your back the way you think, okay? Not everybody has your back the way you think. And on top of that, once this comes out, once this starts happening, this could be fueling you to say, actually, yeah, you might have your concerns, but I gotta do it anyway. Okay? Gotta do it anyway. Gotta try anyway. What do I have this energy for if not to use it? Okay? Okay. There's that. That was interesting. Okay. What do we have to see for our clarifying energy? How can we clarify this? Okay. So we have the Two of Cups. Okay, we have the Two of Cups. All right. It's our clarifying energy. We have the Two of Cups. We have the Nine of Swords. There's swords again. We have the Nine of Swords. Okay. We have the High Priestess as a repeat card. Okay. So there's the High Priestess. Okay. And we have the... Yes. Okay. Making sure I'm reading that correctly. We have the Six of Swords. Okay. All right. So let's talk about this real quick. Because the first thing that stood out to me here is we have the Nine of Swords. We also have the Six of Swords. Here's your anxiety. Here's your stress. Here's the monkey on your back that's keeping you up at night. Okay. We're leaving that behind. We have the opportunity and to clarify what's hidden in our main energy here. We have at the basic here, we have the opportunity to leave behind what's stressing us out. Okay, this situation here could be a trigger. Okay, but we also are in a space to pause, reflect, be creative, do what we need to do to process that. Okay, we're leaving the stress and the nervousness and the things that keep us up at night, that's all being taken away. We're sailing away from that. That's also, I think, borne out by one of the cards in our... Let me get it out here. Hold on. This human card here. Look at the birds flying away. Those are the thoughts of inadequacy, of pain, of suffering, of hurt, those are flying away. I'm making it sound easy. It's not, okay? I want to assure you I understand that it's not, okay? This is what I mean by these things are happening subtly, okay? Those things, you're starting to heal. Oh, bestie, you're starting to heal. I'm cautiously optimistic for you because it's not healing. It's not a linear pattern, okay? But you are being gifted the opportunity to start this process, okay? You're being gifted this opportunity to do it in a way that is, that serves you the best, okay? Okay, now we talked about the High Priestess already. This is wisdom and experience gained from this reflection, okay? And because we have the Two of Cups, this is also the perfect time to integrate that knowledge, okay? Now, because you're being given the chance to do that and to be present with that energy, okay? Okay. So that's our clarifying energy. And I like to see that. I'm going to round out the rest of this reading by pulling. I have a little pile of cards here. This is going to represent how to best use all of the information we've just seen. Okay. There's a lot there. I hope that this is resonating with you. I hope this is helpful. Again, questions, comments, concerns, have them. If you want to see more, my social links will be saved in the description for this. So yeah, check me out outside of YouTube if you want to. Yeah, let's see our final pile of cards and get to know how we can use the energy of all of this. Okay, so how do we use this? Okay, we have the King of Wands. Excuse me, we have the King of Wands. Okay, we have the King of Wands. We have the King of Wands. We have the Three of Coins. Okay, we have the Three of Coins. Okay, we have the Two of Wands. Okay, we have the Two of Wands, and we have the Eight of Swords. Okay, so here's the thing. And also what's interesting is, we talked a little bit about the elements here. I'll get to that in a minute. But you have the Two of Wands, you have the King of Wands, okay? Immediately off the bat here, I'm hearing the phrase, the gate is open, okay? The gate's open and it's up to you to stay where you are or get out and go see what's beyond the gate, okay? I recall that I said something about the limits of your comfort zone being tested. So this is it. Here's the open gate. Okay, gates are open, right? But you need to understand too that the authority to make that decision, how are you going to channel this energy? How are you going to make the most of this energy is up to you. Okay, you don't have to do anything you're not comfortable with. Okay, you could stay behind the gates. That's a choice. It's a valid choice, and you're okay to make that choice if you need to. Okay. What you need to know, though, is that you're in authority over your inspiration, your passion, your drive. Okay? You're in authority over that. Okay? You're in authority when life leaves you feeling trapped and hemmed in. Okay? You're not totally choiceless. You have choices. You always have choices. Okay? This is a pitfall of your own doing. But it's nothing to be, I don't think this is a shame. This isn't something to be ashamed of. Okay? You're here because you have reason to feel like you are stuck. Okay? Again, don't be ashamed of feeling like this. It's real and it's valid, and it's important that you pay attention to why. Okay? Even if you don't know why, this is why you're saying, oh yeah, okay, I'm trapped and hemmed in, but I have a chance to reflect on this. Okay? How do we process this? That's a question for you to answer. I know how I would, but I'm just one person. I'm a girl reading tarot cards on the internet. Okay? I know how I would try and do it. You're different from me, and that's beautiful. That's amazing. Okay? Sometimes an outside perspective might be the thing that helps you to do this reflecting. Okay? And this is where our Three of Coins comes in. Okay? Because we're looking at putting down new roots. We're looking at our abundance and our ability to take care of others. We're looking at everything we have at our disposal to do the work we need to do. Okay? So there is our Three of Coins. Okay? Yeah, I think that's about it. I need to call it quits for now. Again, this video is going to be saved for playback. If you guys want to come back and watch this again, let me know if you have any feedback, comments, or concerns. It's the final time this video, I'm going to say that. I should be back very soon with actual videos for you guys, not just lives. I might be planning more lives in the future, but watch this space because I'm not sure when the next one will be. Thank you so much for your patience. Thank you so much for your understanding. I love you guys. I appreciate you guys. I hope this was resonant and helpful for all of you. Yeah, get in touch with me. I will see you guys very soon. Please stay safe. Please stay blessed. I love you lots. Bye, everybody.